questions for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Great. What's your name?
Mo.
Where are you from?
Egypt.
Where do you live?
Dubai.
Who is your biggest idol?
Jeez, that's a tough one. It has to be the one, right?
You may answer this question however you want. If you don't feel like there's one, then there's not just one.
There isn't. I mean, there's like so many. There's like, from an acting perspective, there's Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
From a filmmaking point of view, there's Ridley Scott, there's Oliver Stone,
Mm-hmm.
Francis, and then there's kind of like the indie artists like Matthew Ryan Hodge, who did The United States of Leland with Ryan Gosling. So there's
Okay.
like hard to pinpoint one influence.
All right, let's see if the next question is a bit easier. What's your favorite snack?
Burgers.
That's a good answer. Where is your favorite holiday destination?
So it's New York for sure, but there's a soft spot for San Francisco just as much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. What is something that you cannot live without?
Movies. I just can't live without watching movies. I mean, it sounds so cheesy, but it's true.
I get that. What is your favorite season?
Winter,
Okay.
because I live here, so obviously it's it's the only time that you kind of get to sit in your balcony and enjoy the view and so on.
What is something that really annoys you?
Really loud people in queues.
Specifically in queues.
Yeah, exactly. Like when you're not a part of a conversation, but then you are involuntarily a part of it because everyone's so loud behind you or in front of you.
Okay. That can be annoying. What word do you think you use the most?
Essentially,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
For some reason, use it at the beginning of every sentence.
We'll see. What is your favorite childhood memory?
To be honest, I was actually looking at it today. That's so funny. Me and my dad kind of wore the same clothes, like sort of lookalikes.
Yeah?
Like yeah, we both had like these. I don't know. What I remember is I wanted to do an MJ Moonwalker kind of thing, but it ended up becoming this weird leather jacket motorcycler kind of thing. But my dad did it too, and it's a really cool photo.
Aww. Okay. What hobbies do you have?
So I love to play the piano. I really enjoy writing. I mean, a lot. Like it's something that comes very naturally. Like I just enjoy it. I can't really classify filmmaking as a hobby, but I'd say like music in general, like just being able to make music for fun.
Okay.
Like with my piano is something I play around with every now and then and post something on Instagram when I feel like it. Like I'm always trying to make a soundtrack for one of my movies on the piano.
Super. What would you say is your biggest strength?
Perseverance. Very stubborn and I just keep going.
What about then your biggest weakness?
I think I can be equally stubborn. Yeah.
What is your guilty pleasure?
There's so many. I mean, I like to watch really, cheesy TV. Things like, I mean, the one that's coming to mind right now is a TV show called The 100, which is like about a bunch of teens who are lost on this like, it's kind of like this apocalyptic series.
Okay.
For young people who are just really cheesy. And they're all really good looking and perfect, and that it's kind of a guilty entertaining pleasure, and it doesn't make much sense, but you enjoy it anyways. Every now and then I like to watch really silly movies. I mean, those are kind of a guilty pleasure as well, I guess. Things from like the 90s and early 2000s that were kind of trashy at the time, but kind of make me feel young and responsibility free.
But I agree with you. I think the world and life like routine is complex as it is. So sometimes I need to just take my brain, put it aside and just watch something easy. It's good.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. I mean, I spent so much time actually in such serious, emotional, dark, as part of my job. Like I just do a lot of like dark narrative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a disconnect from that sometimes and just watch something that has totally no purpose, I suppose,
Mm-hmm.
because every for me is about purpose
Okay, what inspires you?
in all its forms. Like whether that's a song that just feels slightly raw and unedited, and
Mm-hmm.
you can almost hear like the performers cracking and like his voice cracking, and it just feels real. So Damien Rice, comes to mind when I think of
Mm-hmm.
inspiration. Things that are idealistic
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time real. I think there's a word for it, like surrealism. And in essence, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, surreal like is something that's super inspiring. Like things that are heightened reality, whether that's a painting or graffiti from, for example, Banksy is as
Mm-hmm.
famous as it gets. But I love the work because it's just so rugged and simple, but it still has that emotional, sort of capacity to be something so much more.
What is a talent that you wish you had?
I wish I could sing. I think that's like one of those weird things where, um, yeah, I think I secretly wanted to be Freddie Mercury in a different lifetime, but I realized very easily that that's not going to happen. So I just enjoy, making movies that have great music and yeah,
What did you want to do with your life when you were 12 years old?
exactly as close as I possibly can be to what I'm doing today. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, I mean, I knew when I was much younger than 12 that I wanted to make movies and I wanted to be a part of the film industry. It took a lot of U-turns and a lot of different tangents, but that's
Mhm.
exactly where I am now. First time I ever realized I wanted to do this was probably around 4.
Wow. And you're
Yeah.
doing it. That's awesome. Great. Okay, and finally, what word describes you the best?
The word that comes to mind is tenacious, but that's how other people have described me, not how I describe myself. I
Okay.
think if I describe myself, I'd use the word maybe optimistically naive. That's how I probably perceive myself. Yeah.
Sounds good. Super. Okay, thanks a lot, and let's get into your episode.
Okay.